but I see it. Oh no. Some pieces broke off. This is Ratgirl with another episode of Let's Test This Mold. And today we have a crystal mold. I'm sure you can kind of tell by looking at it like this. It's just a simple mold with a crystal formation inside and like a little coaster. Yeah, a coaster to like hold it or something like that. I did notice that the mold is not deep. So right here, you at least want like 1.5 centimeters of height. And there are some, this is some old concrete. There are some bridges like right here where it's really not high at all. So we're gonna have to use a linoleum block carver and just deepen up that area right there. Do this at your own risk. You know, we've worked with a lot of molds. I also do some linoleum carving once in a while and make some stamps. So I'm a bit familiar with this tool. But the first thing we're gonna do right off the bat is just deepen this area here because there's just not enough room for the concrete to form. Now we're not gonna be ruining the inside, but we're just gonna give it a bit more depth. Just like that. We're gonna cast it. It's gonna be a short, quick video for the YouTube. And yeah, let me just wipe this off. So when I saw this online, I was like, what? How is that gonna work? It's very small and there's edges and corners. And if you've watched a few of our videos and our reviews on molds, the more there's an edge, the more concrete will have the possibility of impact. And yeah, a way you can also check that out is just by looking in the streets on the corners of buildings. Usually you'll see there's like debris, there's like chipped off corners on the concrete of buildings. But then you'll see statues and objects and monuments made out of this strong concrete that have circular edges, or even some of our objects. And when it's circular, there's less risk for pieces to chip off. So when there's corners, you run a risk of a more fragile object. That being said, these crystals have some sharp little edges, so we're going to be very gentle when we're casting it. We're going to be careful on our water level, because if you put too much water or too much pigment, it makes the concrete a little bit less strong, and that's why our color guides are really important. You don't want to over add pigment into your gray matter. It is not going to take a lot. So I'm just gonna make a little blue, and if I'm running out, I'll just make some more. Just take some water, put it in. That should be perfect. No more water will be added. This is exactly the amount you want. And the texture too, for a solid casting. Okay, so I let it rest a little bit. Make sure we don't get any spotting and that everything got the proper amount of moisture. Yeah. And vibrate. Okay, it's gonna take a decent slam, and actually the silicone is suctioning to my table right now. But yeah, you're gonna wanna get back going. Push it in maybe? I don't know. It's like really narrow. Usually I talk about my hopes for the mold. I don't know what my hopes are. I think it'll work, but I don't have the vibration machine in my home studio that we do in our studio. So we're gonna do it with our hands. And press down, press in, press down, press in. Could be okay. Yeah, all right. Let's leave it like that. We're gonna let it cure. and we will be back. And I'm just gonna lastly finish some of the concrete here. Little coaster. Yeah, we're gonna set it aside. Hey everyone, welcome back. I waited a few hours for the crystal demold, and I do bear some bad news here that I noticed as soon as I picked the little tray up, which is literally this thin, not good. I wasn't expecting it to work. As soon as I picked it up, it cracked. So we're gonna do that one first. It was way too small. But you can see the nice detail on the engravement worked. So engraving does work in the silicone. Every single one of that little flower drawing transferred over, but it did break. Too thin. I was not too hopeful for that. This, however, is what I am very eager to see. Okay, so let's go super slow. A part of me wanted to take off my gloves, but I think we're just gonna go super easy. It was labeled as a resin mold, so the series is to see what exactly works. I have no idea how I'm gonna get this out of here in one piece. I don't know, everyone. Do I take off my gloves? I think I will. Okay. Oh no. Just by grabbing onto something, pieces are breaking. Okay. What if I go like this? Slowly push out, push out, push out. I'm loosening it up. Oh no. Okay. I'm getting something. I feel like I have to whisper because of how delicate this is. But I see it. Oh no. Some pieces broke off. This is so sketch. This didn't work, everyone. Oh, saw the way that came out? Yeah. Yeah. We haven't had a fail in a while, but you can see two of the pieces stayed in the mold. I don't know how I'm gonna necessarily get them out, but let's see. Yeah, this is probably not made for concrete, but I could maybe glue it if I wanted to. It's like a crystal cluster. I could glue it, like everything. That one's really in there. Everything worked, it just didn't come out nice. The silicone is really stiff too. If it was one of those cheap transparent ones, this might have been better. Oh, there you go. So I've got all the little crystals. I'll just have to glue them. I don't know. That's what happened. Bit of a fail, I guess. But yeah, that's what we're here for. That's what this channel is for. We do some experiments for you. We teach you how to work with gray matter, aka concrete, and how to look out for molds. This one, probably not best. It's very small. If you go down the channel, you'll see a cowboy hat, which I also had some doubts about because it was a very small mold. But the cowboy hat worked out. However, this crystal, bit too thin. Okay, I did it, y'all. I am hand holding this tiny little crystal. I used some super glue. It's a bit hard to focus on it since it's so small. And here it is, a little concrete cluster. I guess from far you can't really tell that it's broken, but it seems to have worked. Sort of, slightly, with glue. This is really something fragile not to be thrown around. It literally weighs like a quarter of a pound, nothing. But there is the concrete cluster that came out of this mold right here, and it's super fragile. And I'm gonna put this somewhere sacred that it never moves. So thanks for watching. See you soon.